This particular plant produces a vegetable that is a nightmare to many kids. And of course, this is Brussels sprouts. But to many of us, they're quite tasty. And we can successfully grow them in Oklahoma, as you can see here. And this plant will start to get very tall, and it produces a lot of leaves on it. But at each node, right above the leaf, is where the Brussels sprouts will form. Now, to get good size on the sprouts, we need to go in and strip off some of the leaves, and that's what we've done. And you just go in and pop them off, and you'll do that until you get to the point where the sprouts are quite small. And it looks like you've really topped it off quite a bit, which we have, but again, the leaves will use up all the nutrients, and that's why we're stripping them off, so we can size up the sprouts, and that's what we want. And the best way to cut them is to use a pocket knife, because snapping them off is kind of hard to do, and you can let them size up pretty good and just harvest them as they go by. Now, later on in the summer, it's going to get really hot, and they may not start sizing up on you, and you may get too tall of a plant. If that's the case, you can just go in and pinch out the growing point, and that will slow it down and cause you to size these up a little bit before it gets too hot and the plant goes out on you. Now, you're probably noticing all the nice little holes on the plant, and that is from our cabbage looper, and we've got a large one right here. Actually, we've got two of them on here, and they can be quite destructive, feed on the plant, and actually cause us to reduce our production. But they'll also feed sometimes on our little sprouts, so it's going to be real important for us to control them. Let me show you a couple of ways to do that. A lot of the new products out on the market now are really natural type products, and a lot of them are traps or attractants or lures, and that's what we've got here. And this particular one is sent to us from Land Steward, and what it is, it forms into a little triangle, but it's a lure, a bio lure, just for the cabbage looper. And what we'll do is we'll open that up, and once they're open, you have to use them because you expose the attractant then, and it's got an adhesive part on the back. Peel that off. We'll stick it right inside the box, and then we'll put it together according to directions. And we've got one here that we've put together with the directions, and we're already starting to get some of the loopers to crawl up to it. Once they crawl in, there's a sticky surface that they'll stick to, and that's what we're trying to do. Now, they'll come in many different kinds. You'll see them for the corn earworm. We'll try some there, but they've also got one that will attract some of the beneficial insects to our gardens. Now, you can make some of these yourself by just buying some of the sticky products at some of the stores, maybe even using motor oil. And you know, yellow is the color that attracts insects the most, and that's why you see some of the sticky fly paper, but even Vaseline will work. But a lot of times, they'll only last 2 to 3 weeks like these products here. So you can make your own if you'd like. Now, commercially, to avoid pesticides, a lot of the commercial farmers, especially in Florida and California, are using vacuums to go along in the fields and suck up some of the insects. Now, we can do the same thing by just using our little handheld vacuums as well. And it will work quite well on insects like aphids and spider mites. But you'll see on these big caterpillars, it's hard to suck those up because they have the feet that will attach to the plant, and it's really hard to do. So you might keep that in mind with aphids. Just take your bug vac and suck some of those insects up. But remember, just be ready to explain to your neighbors what you're doing.